तौ सन्तोषयता सन्तौ श्रीलरूपसनातनौ दाक्षिणात्येन भट्टेन पुनरेतद्विविच्यते तस्याद्यं ग्रन्थनालेकं क्रान्तव्युत्क्रान्तखण्डितम् पर्यालोच्याथ पर्यायं कृत्वा लिखति जीवकः भृगु भृगुस्कर्स works भृगुस्कर्स Mike, speak in mic. Huh? Mic is working. Okay. So we were hearing that Bhrigu gave curse in 4th canto, 2nd chapter. So it is working in whose case? It's okay. Okay. So what is going on now? Bhrigu gave the curse to those worshippers of Shiva, so who are worshipping Shiva independently and not so but following the Vedic procedure. So they are getting the curse from Bhrigu, that is they will be Pashandis. वेद विहितम एव अत्र भवव्रतम अनुद्यते अन्य विहितत्वे पाषण्डित्व विधान अयोगः स्यात् पूर्वतः एव पाषण्डित्व सिद्धेः. Thus there is a fault of Pashandi hereticism in worshipping Shiva independently, since Lord is mentioned as root of the Vedas. Bhrigu in that section. Okay, this is there in the previous one only. Here, Bhavavrata, worship of Shiva, is as prescribed by the Vedas. If the worship of Shiva is not as prescribed by the Vedas, then the word Pashandi cannot be applied, since the worshippers of nature as Pashandi has already been established from before. Okay, that line is clear. Next, it is concluded that means you should see in the old file only, not in the new file. So it is concluded that Bhagavatam and other scriptures which are against the independent worship of Shiva are authorized scriptures. Sasyastra paripantinah pashandinah tu bhavantu. You have to understand here one point. I think you need to switch off this light. Huh? Acha. Okay. Independent. Not independent. The people who worship Shiva independently, they are equal to what? Pashandi. And people who are inimical to genuine scriptures are what? Pashandi. Okay. These two statements, 1 and 2. People who worship Shiva independently are Pashandis. People who are inimical to genuine scriptures are Pashandis. Okay. So that means what? If you equate 1 and 2, that means people who worship Shiva independently, they are equal to people who are inimical to genuine scriptures. Okay. Now you see, Srimad Bhagavatam rejecting independent worship of Shiva. Okay. So therefore, what you can conclude? Now I will ask who is going to say answer. Let us see, check the aptitude of the students. Who is applying their active brain? Who will tell? Srimad Bhagavatam is rejecting independent worship of Shiva. Jai Gopinath Prabhu, tell me. So what is the conclusion then? Therefore, conclusion is?
Srimad Bhagavatam rejects people who are inimical to genuine scriptures.
Means what? Something you came?
Srimad Bhagavatam is rejecting the independent worship of the Lord Shiva. Still, that they are not inimical to genuine scriptures, because they are theists also, because they are coming the category of the
simple answer.
Genuine scripture.
Yes, this is answer. Srimad Bhagavatam is genuine scripture.
That's all.
This is the conclusion. Satshastram. Yes or no? This is the answer. Very good. We established Srimad Bhagavatam is genuine scripture. No, mathematics is simple. Srimad Bhagavatam is rejecting independent worship of Shiva. So, people who worship Shiva independently, they are inimical to the genuine scriptures. That means Srimad Bhagavatam is rejecting the independent worship of Shiva means it is genuine scripture. That is the meaning. Simple. And Skanda Purana, that means Sutta Samhita. But Sutta Samhita in Skanda Purana. Skanda, SKP. Skanda Purana. Okay. Sutta Samhita in Skanda Purana favors independent worship of Shiva. Therefore, Sutta Samhita is Asas Shastram. Write it. Asas Shastra means not genuine scripture. Three marks question. Established Srimad Bhagavatam is genuine scripture based upon curse of Bhrigu, based upon episode of Bhrigu giving curse to Shiva followers.
What is the need of coming to drawing this? What is the need of drawing this conclusion when the whole Tattva Sandarbha was about that?
It's just we side point here.
Plus, also one can argue that this statement, the whole curse, is described in the Bhagavatam also itself. So, based on this, on the text of the Bhagavatam, we establish Bhagavatam as the Sat.
It's not established, so we're just clearing. It's the Srimad Bhagavatam is showing once again. That means this point is showing Srimad Bhagavatam is yes, it's Shastram. It's clarifying again. So yeah, Srimad Bhagavatam is quoting. That means whoever is worshipping Lord Shiva, that means this curse is explained in yes, Srimad Bhagavatam. And by that episode also we are establishing that Srimad Bhagavatam is Satyashastram, genuine scripture. This whole episode is in Srimad Bhagavatam, and that is, yeah, that episode, based upon that episode, we are once again reconfirming Srimad Bhagavatam is genuine scripture. Akshay Hari Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Pranam.
Pranam, yes.
So I have a question here. So there are two, equation 1 and equation 2. But how can we equate that partially can be a superset? There can be a this kind of people also partially, and this kind of people can also be partially. But is it logical to equate them?
Pashandi. So from expression 1, we are understanding who is Pashandi. So whoever is worshipping Shiva independently, they are Pashandis.
Yes.
And from expression 2, also, you know, so Pashandis, those who are inimical to the genuine scriptures in general definition. So that means, so people who are worshipping Shiva independently, so those are who are inimical to. So that means those, you can say people who are worshipping Shiva independently, you can say that they are inimical to genuine scriptures. And Srimad Bhagavatam is rejecting worshipping of Shiva independently. So that's why Srimad Bhagavatam is genuine scripture. Understanding?
So can we say like that if somebody speak like he's a bad boy, and if somebody smoke he's a bad boy, but both we cannot equate both of them, smoking and lying. somebody,
So here what definition of Pashandi is whoever is inimical to genuine scriptures.
okay,
And so now we are hearing,
yeah,
so
got it.
Shiva
Got it.
followers are
Yeah,
Pashandis.
yeah,
So
yeah,
that's
that is
why,
general definition. Okay.
yeah. So that's why from that we are understanding. So people who are worshipping Shiva independently are inimical to genuine scriptures.
Yeah, got it.
Yeah.
Thank
Yeah.
Just a very quick one. So the scriptures which we call Asat Shastram.
Huh? Asasya.
So there is Sat Shastram, which is Srimad Bhagavatam,
Yeah.
and those which would prescribe worship of Lord Shiva that will be called Asat Shastram.
Asasya.
Would they still be considered part of the Vedic version?
Yes, definitely. So they're part of the Vedas, they are Puranas, even Vedas also. So even Skanda Purana, so some places you'll be seeing the worshipping of Shiva is encouraged, independent worship of Shiva. And even Shiva Purana, it is encouraged. They are Asasastras, they are not genuine scriptures. But still they are part of, yes, Vedas.
So to digest that, the Vedas have Asat and Sat Shastras.
Yes, that means that's why in Skanda Purana, it's not that Asas Shastras means they are not establishing so directly the highest truth. Like Karma Kanda section is there. So it is encouraging to do karma. So, but that is not that means ultimate conclusion of the Vedas. And that portion you should not, based upon that portion, you cannot conclude. So that's why. So Asas Shastras means what? What do you mean? Vedavyas didn't manufacture any philosophy by himself. He just is writing whatever the record, that means whatever incident is happening, he's just writing like a news reporter. So there is some incident is happening. In that incident, so some person has given a slap to another and he wrote it. He wrote that point. So whoever is recording that, is there any wrong in that person? No. So these Puranas are all what? These Puranas are just recordings of the various incidents which are happening or which are conversation happening between two people. And sometimes some person may be teaching wrongly. That means, so then that is also recorded in that book. Then what do you say? So based upon that recording, you can say that means the fact is changing. You're understanding my point? These all Vedas are nothing but what? Vedas, Puranas. So most of the time you'll be seeing they are the discussions between the 2 or 3 people actually, conversations. And whoever is speaking, that person may not be complete knower of the truth. He may not be knower of the complete truth. And with that half knowledge he is speaking, and that is recorded in that book. Then what do you say? So it is a part of the Vedas and it should be true, will you say? No. Like in the Vedas, Buddha is saying that don't follow Vedic literature. Then what do you say based upon it is part of the Vedas and we should not follow Vedas? Try to understand. In Bhagavatam, there is one sloka. In Mahakala Purana, what Vishnu is saying? Vishnu is saying to Shiva, Vishnu is saying to Krishna, hey, Krishna, you are my incarnation. It is also in the Srimad Bhagavatam. Can you say it is in the Srimad Bhagavatam? That's why this statement is establishing the fact? No. No, you cannot. In Srimad Bhagavatam, many things are there. Karma Mishra Bhakti is there. Gnana Mishra Bhakti is there. Just by the statement, can you say that Gnana Mishra Bhakti is the conclusion? No.
At the same time, in Tattva Sandarbha, we study that every Purana, although they basically every Purana, every scripture would have a part glorifying the Supreme Lord.
That only you should take.
Somehow directing. So if the part is there, how we can still call the whole scripture as Sat Shastra?
Yeah, because if in the Skanda Purana, Lord Shiva is saying to his son Shanmuga, Kartikeya, oh my dear son, in this Skanda Purana, whatever statements are there which are establishing Vishnu, that much only you should accept. Other things you should reject. So that means any portion of the Vedic literature is not going against to the conclusions of the Vedas, then that part should be neglected. Understand? Any portion of the Vedas or anything actually, if it is going against to the conclusions of the Vedas, conclusions of the Srimad Bhagavatam, you reject that. You are not taking the responsibility of everyone in this universe, because in these Puranas that means in every kalpa that story is repeated, and Duryodhana is speaking, one should kill anyone, is even Brahmana should be killed. That is there in the Bhagavatam, let us take. Then what? Based upon that statement, you will be establishing the Srimad Bhagavatam is promoting to kill the Brahmanas, then kill. No. You have to see in that Srimad Bhagavatam who is speaking. And whether it is in the conclusion, it is going to the conclusion or not. That you should take. But our nature, our habit is what? Oh, take out the Bhagavad Gita, just open any sloka, and oh, this sloka is saying UCC, and this is Bhagavad Gita is saying. Are who is speaking? What is the context and what is the conclusion? Based upon that, you should speak. It's not that in that, oh, Jnana Yoga is there, then everyone should practice Jnana Yoga. Can you say like that? Karmanyevadikaras demapanesh kadachala. So you detach from your karma and results, and that is the statement. Can you take that means that statement and say that everyone should do the Nishkama Karma Yoga? That is the establishment of the truth? No. Anything part of the scripture means you should not understand that is every statement of that scripture is not establishing. You should take the conclusion, and also you should take the priority of the sentence, Shruti Linga Vakya Prakarana Sthana Samakya. But that means all the statements are not having the equal importance. No. Some are the statements having the high importance, and some statements are having the less importance. And high importance, that means whoever is having the high priority or high importance, that is defeating other statements in that scripture also. So that's why without understanding that scripture thoroughly, if you speak anything anywhere, then you will misguide the society. Yes. Yeah.
In this talk between Arjuna and Krishna, as you said, as we discuss this, like Guru Sisya Bhava is there, that is Shruti. So although this is talk between both of them, Arjuna and Krishna, so we should say everything Guru Sisya Bhava are like that. That Shruti are like that 6 Shruti, Linga, Prakaran, all are included in Bhagavad Gita. And how to identify.
Those are also there. Our Kokulanand Prabhu purchased a new book. He's doing research on that. Artha Sangraha. Serious student. And now he's studying the definition. What is the Shruti? What is the Linga? What is the Prakarana? What is Sthana, Samak, everything. And how to understand. And
in Bhagavad Gita, all are mentioned. All are there.
We have to check.
That means.
Yeah. First of all, yeah, we should know those, and we should see also. So to Prakarana, what is this? That means prakarana, this statement is telling whenever you need, then only we use. That means there is some controversial statement. Example, in the Srimad Bhagavatam, you are seeing in the 3rd chapter of the 1st canto, in the 28th sloka, you are seeing Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam. You are seeing here Krishna as avatari. And if you go to the 24th sloka, you are seeing Krishna as avatara. So in the same chapter, 2 places, there is a controversy. Whenever there is a problem, then you should use the instrument. It's not that they just classifying the whole book into the prakaranas. No. Whenever there is some conflict is there, then we need to induce or apply this kind of instrument tools. That's the thing. So that's why in the Skanda Purana, much portion is in the favor of the emperor Pramana is the Srimad Bhagavatam. So its conclusions are we are already observed. That's why we give so much time for Tattva Sandrabha. Why? Because we are trying to, even Srimad Bhagavatam is highest scripture, but what is the conclusion of that Srimad Bhagavatam? We give this so much time because how we establish the conclusion of Srimad Bhagavatam based upon heart of the Vasudev and heart of the Sukadeva Goswami, because those are the speakers and compiler. That is very important actually. That's why you took that. And based upon that, we established what is the conclusion of Srimad Bhagavatam. Of course, establishing Srimad Bhagavatam is not at all sufficient. In that Srimad Bhagavatam also, what is the conclusion? That is important actually. And that we did. Then after that, any scripture is going against to this opinion, that part has to be considered as Asat Shastram. Means even that part is known as Asat Shastram. Then why it is there? It is because it's a conversation. It's not that the one person is summarizing everything. Many people are discussing and many things they are discussed actually. Understanding? Who is that? Okay. Jai Gopinath Prabhu. Okay.
Yes, Prabhu. I got the answer from you.
Yeah, okay, Prabhu.
I was thinking about asking even the other Puranas written by Vyasadeva only.
Yeah.
But still it has lots of other conversations and you said that Skanda Purana has many things which are not into the conclusion of Srimad Bhagavatam.
Yes.
So we don't take that up seriously.
Yeah. So that's why many times we do mistake actually. We take the responsibility of all the Puranas on our shoulders. And we try to justify those. And we fail, and after that we feel, oh, what is happening? So, no, actually. Even Srimad Bhagavatam also, we are not taking responsibilities of some statements.
Also some part Asat Shastram.
Asat Shastram means so yeah, those statements we should not take it as a conclusion. No. So that's why you should see the whole context and then after that summarize. So that means those statements, now Krishna is, that statement is saying Krishna is avatara. Can we accept that line? We cannot accept. So some statement is Krishna is avatara, it is saying. It's not the conclusion actually. We cannot accept that. And Vishnu is saying, you are my avataras. Can we accept it is the Srimad Bhagavatam statement only? No. Okay, Sri Chand Prabhu.
Prabhu, so karma kanda and all that, if one follows, one doesn't go down to hellish, whatever Vyasadeva he wrote. So karma kanda is also for some people which he wrote who don't have faith on Supreme Lord. It is told that one has to follow varnashrama system and all that. So karma kanda is for some people and they don't degrade. But by following this teaching, it seems that Vedas itself are guiding people to, or the statements are guiding towards hell, making them passion this no. Vedas generally are written so that people don't go to irreligious activities or become atheists. So why to write that only if it is guiding like that? If it is making them one become passionate.
So your question is a little bit different from what we are discussing. Here what? Some statement is completely against the conclusion of this Shastra. Then we are neglecting that. That is another point, okay? That point is we till now we discussed. Now you are raising another topic. Karmakanda is prescribing the what you are the point, bro? So,
I am telling that even if Karma Kanda we consider as Asat Shastra or whatever, but if one follows that, one doesn't become atheist. One will not go to religious activities. He will go to Swarga or whatever. But this thing, if one follows it, worshipping Shiva independently, it is told that they will become passionalists and they will go against the Vedas only. So then it is then why to the question is why to mention that because it is guiding people to go away from the right path, against the right path.
see, Karmakanda is saying to go against the right path. Karmakanda is saying do karma to create interest, so some phala is there, phalasruti is there, and but it is asking in right way you should do. That means you should do this karma for offering results to the Lord. So in that way it is trying to help. But someone
do karma for gaining material results only. They don't offer to Lord. They want enjoyment, Swarga.
So that is the practitioner's fault, not the scripture fault.
No, they do those for getting Swarga only, no, that karma kanda.
But when that karma kanda, what is the main conclusion? Conclusion is the purpose of that defining those. That means is what? Is that to liberate that person from that karma. Karma kanda is also there to liberate person from karma kanda. Karma. Someone is not understand the conclusions and following some sections of that whatever he is liking. That's why he is Pashandi. Even Vedas are all sum and total, they are concluding in Vasudeva para Vedaha. But not understanding someone this and taking the some section of the Vedas and practicing and saying that I am right, then he is Pashandi. Yeah.
So here worshipping Shiva independent, some people we see that they worship Shiva and they worship Vishnu also and they go to many places also. So they are not considered as worshipping Shiva independently.
If they worship Shiva, while worshipping Shiva, he is only the Supreme Personality of Godhead, then he is not worshipping in a right way. That's why he is known as Pashand.
All the Shiva temples generally now they worship like that only. I think.
But see the connection, what kind of consciousness you have. Worshipping Shiva, we are not rejecting. We are rejecting only with what consciousness you are worshipping. If you treat Shiva as independent Supreme Lord, then that is not correct. And if you are worshipping Shiva also independent and Vishnu is also independent, then that is not fitting philosophy. No two independent entities will be possible. Only one can be the supreme truth, because Veda is saying ahameva sameva agre sadeva asid idamagre ahameva sameva. One only is there actually. So then one is only there. Then if you take two, that is against to the conclusions of the Vedas. So then that is a practitioner's problem, no? Vedas are all, that means total portion of Veda is not misguiding. Ultimately, the conclusion of Veda is right direction only. So that's why also overall Veda is a Shastra only. But in the some portions are, because in that Veda we are seeing the conversation between the many kinds of the people, and they are speaking many ways. But you should finalize the In the whole prakarana you should take, or otherwise whole scripture you should take, or otherwise the highest scripture, highest portion of this Vedic literature you should take. Based upon that, you should see the total things. So example, in the Skanda Purana, old Sutta, Sutta Goswami, that means father Sutta and son Sutta. Okay, we have two. So son Sutta is teaching the Bhagavatam to Saunakadi rishis, but his father, Lomaharshan Sutta, so he is not devotee. He didn't study Srimad Bhagavatam, and he doesn't know the conclusions of the Vedas, Bhagavatam, and who is Supreme Personality of Godhead. Anyway, he got, that's why, punishment from Balaram. And he was speaking in the Skanda Purana, what? Krishna and Balaram, they are the coming from the two hairs of Vishnu. So then what we should say? That means then there Jiva Goswami is saying, this is the Suta's fault actually. He doesn't know. And he spoke. Anyway, Vedavas, what he is compiling that story whole, whatever conversation happened between two people. That's not the fault of the Vedavas. Vedavas cannot change. Now something, news reporter is recording something. He cannot change. Whatever is happening, he should write. And similarly, whatever conversation happened between them, that should be compiled. So then that portion we should reject that. That's Sutta Goswami's section in there. His statement cannot be conclusion of the Vedas. So that's why Shruti, Linga, Prakarana, Vakya, Sthana, Samakya. These are very important. Also, Upasamhara, Upakrama, Upasamhara, Abhyasa, Apurva, Phalam, so and so and so, Tatparya Lingas, they are also important. To conclude that section or anything, you need these tools. Yeah, Jai Gopinath Prabhu.
To summarize, Prabhu, that even in Shastras,
Yes.
we can find statements where it is apparently saying worship of Shiva independently.
Yes.
So some people take up only those things and then they start doing it.
Yes.
So that is what it is wrong.
Yes.
But what they are supposed to do is that they have to see the whole conclusion of Shastras and do according to that.
Yes.
Because they are not doing that, they are called as Pasandi.
Yes. Let us take, in the society, someone staunch follower of Shiva is there, and he is speaking to his followers, one should worship Shiva independently. That incident is recorded in the Sampurana. Then what do you say? That means he is speaking, but he doesn't know the conclusion he is speaking. Then you cannot take, it is out of the Vedic literature and it should be true. No. No, you cannot take that. Yeah.
I heard in South Indian Brahmin tradition that, as you said, that previously, even the Shiva devotees in South India, they know this point that we have to worship Shiva in relation with Vishnu. So in all the Shiva temples, they had Salagram Vigraha. So first they will offer the food to that Salagram Vigraha.
Yes.
Then only they will offer to Shiva. I have heard like that. But after the propagation of the Sangharas Advaita so intensely in South India, then this tradition that independent worship of Shiva become prominent actually.
Yes.
So it was there actually, as you said.
Yeah. So that's why, but some people, what they do, they will be picking up the statements which are favorable to their taste, and they start propagating their mission. See, in this Purana it is said, in this Purana it is said, in this Purana it is said, we should all worship Jai Mata Di. And some people take the whatever statements are favorable to them, Then Mahadev. And some people they take some points which are Agni Purana and Agni Dev, Shani Dev, so many Dev. But what is the conclusion? How to reconcile that? That is the point actually. Many speakers, many things they have spoken in that. So Buddha is speaking, you should not follow Vedas. That is also there in the Vedas. Then by taking that statement, we should not follow Vedas.
The teachings and Prabhupada's lectures and Bhagavatam books, everything also this come category of Shruti, Ling, Prakarana, or we are taking Prabhupada's words absolute like that. So sometimes contradiction also takes place. So
here what? Yeah. Here one person only speaking everything. So everything will be the fact. And but sometimes instructions, there is a chance. So some instructions are absolute, that means level of Shruti, and some instructions are like based upon Prakarana is said. That is possible. Only for philosophical conclusions is one only all the lectures. But the service instructions may be varying, priorities are varying. So if you want to prioritize, or sometimes maybe some secondary principles like woman guru and so and so. So then you have to reconcile the total things. Such a secondary point. Those are all not primary point. Krishna is Supreme Personality of Godhead. It is a primary point. There is no doubt. Everywhere, every time you will be finding. But in some context, he said no need of this, and some context he said yes. And that kind, whenever there is a controversy, then you should go. Otherwise, no need. Whenever there is a problem, then only should. When you will go for the operation, when you have some disease. If you have any trouble, that means some people are saying like this based upon Prabhupada instructions, and some people are saying based upon Prabhupada instructions another way. If there is a controversy there, then you have to apply the tools. Otherwise, no. If everyone is accepting some one thing, no problem. Like that. If you have any such a controversial point, then you should say.
Controversy means within Prabhupada's own statement or Prabhupada's statement with whatever was stated before.
In that maybe in that morning was sometime in that. So who is the speaker? Who is the listener there? That is also important. If listener is just a neophyte devotee, he said that okay, on a Ekadasi day also you do something. Okay, you can eat some cooked food or something. Some relaxation is said. And when he is instructing to his topmost disciple, then he might be instructing another way. There is a controversy. Then you have to apply. Who is speaking to whom? What is that listener and who is the speaker? And what is the context? And what is the whole context is going? Then you need to apply these are all. Otherwise, no need. Some neophyte devotee, okay, you don't need to chant 16 rounds, you chant 4 rounds. And can you say based upon that? He said 4 rounds, okay, Prabhupada said 4 rounds. Now today onwards 4 rounds. Are you देखिए? So that's why whenever some statement you make, you should know if there is a controversy, otherwise no problem. Yeah, if there is a controversy. Let's continue our discussion. Yeah. So that's why Sutta Samhita is Asasastram. It is a part of the Skanda Purana. Tasmat Swatantratvena Upasanayam Ayam Doshaha. So that's why anyone worship Shiva independently. So that is Doshaha. For them, Pashanditvam comes. Yatascha tatraiva tena Sri Janardanasyeva Vedamulatvam Uktam. So there in that same chapter, you see, Bhrigu is saying, he gave curse and he gave reasonably only. Because the reason is, why worshipper of Shiva, independent worshipper of Shiva is partiality? Because who is the moola of everything? Janardanaha. In the next sloka it is said, Esha eva hi lokanam Shiva panta sanatana yam purve chanu samstutur yat pramanam janardanaha. So, Esha eva hi lokanam Shiva panta sanatana. This path is only the auspicious path, which is followed. That path, that means rishis took shelter of that path. What is that path? In which the root is Janardana. That means in that path, who is the root? For that path, who is the root? Janardana. Janardana is the root. And that path is only the Sanatana. Sanatana Dharma means worshipping Krishna. That is worshipping this demigod, that demigod, this, that. No, that is not auspicious path. The meaning is, वेद लक्षण यत् प्रमाण यत्र मूलमिति इत्यर्थ. अतएव अन्वयेनापि श्री विष्णु भक्ति दृढ़ीकृता. So that's why even Vishnu Bhakti is once again substantiated in the first canto, second chapter itself. Rajastama prakrutaya, rajastama iti prakrutair gunastay yukta parama purusha eka ihasya datte स्थित्यादये हरि विरिंचि हरेति संज्ञा श्रेयांसि तत्र खलु सत्त्वतनोर्नृणां स्युः. Here directly it is said, of course, Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva, they are all guna avatars of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But still in that avatars, you should worship only Vishnu for auspiciousness. Yes, you can worship others, but you will not get any auspicious result. That's the problem. You may get the temporary results, but auspicious result will be coming from Vishnu only. Next. Translation you all studied already. Tata Sri Harivamshe Shiva Vakyameva. In Harivamsha Purana, Shiva is also saying, Harireva sadadyeyo bhavadbhi sattva samstitaihi Vishnu mantra sada vipra patadhvam dhyata keshavam. In the Bhavishya Purana also it is there, and also it is in the Harivamsha Purana, both. In Harivamsha. Harivamsha is not Purana, it's just compilation, Harivamsha. What is that? Vishnu should always be meditated on by you who are situated in Sattva. O Brahmanas, Vishnu mantra should always be recited. Meditate on Keshava. If you take some portions of the some Puranas, then you may establish other demigods as supreme. But what is the conclusion of everything? And who is the highest, having highest pramana? It's not that we didn't establish that all the Vedas and all the parts of the Vedas are the highest pramana. We didn't establish in the Tattva Sandrabha. We established only Srimad Bhagavatam is the highest pramana. Of course, there is a Vedic literature, so much is there. If everything is accepted and everything is having authority, every sentence is having authority of speaking truth, then why we took that much endeavor in Sattva Sandarbha to establish Bhagavatam as highest pramana. Then if you go to the Krishna Sandarbha, you will once again refining that also in Krishna Sandarbha. All the Shastras and everything is ultimately concluding in Vasudeva. Whatever rules and regulations are there, to remember Krishna always and to not forget Krishna, to never forget Krishna. Ultimately, those are all there to serve this. Next. Tasma Sri Shivabhakteः अपि एवं भूतत्वे स्थिते परासामपि देवतानां वैष्णवागमादौ तद् बहिरंगावरण सेवकत्वेन अप्राकृतानामेव पूजा विधानम्. Okay, we very thoroughly examined worshipping of Shiva. But what about other demigods? Worshipping of other demigods. This is the point of discussion now. Other demigods, whoever are situated in spiritual world, other demigods, whoever are there in the Pita Puja. There is generally in the Padma Purana, Pita Puja is explained. I am also not knowing much that Pita Puja. Anyone did that? No, did that? How? Demigods. So you have that diagram, you know. Now grahasa, how it looks? A square will be there, na? And inside circle, like this, avaranas. Anyway, somehow I will take like this. So in this, actually here, Radha Krishna are situated, and in the avaranas, you will be having the various demigods in the 8 directions. So like this. Now so many things are there. So while worshipping Radha Krishna, these sevakas, they are all servants of Radha Krishna who are located in the external or outerior this layer, actually avarana. So they are situated in there. Those will be also worship, those demigods will be worshipping those demigods while worshipping Radha Krishna. And these all demigods are spiritual demigods. In Pita Puja, whoever is worshipped, everyone is in the spiritual world. Everyone, all. If that name of demigod came in the Pita Puja, that means he is in the spiritual world only. Maybe the same name, that means Durga is there in that avarana also. Here Durga. And also we have in the material world. But while worshipping this Pita Puja, while doing the Pita Puja, you are worshipping spiritual Durga, not the material Durga. Not the material Durga. So we are worshipping these are all spiritual demigods. And they are all servants of the Lord. They are situated in the so avarana, this exterior, outside avarana. This is avarana. This is one more avarana. Like that, avaranas are there. In spiritual world also they are located like that. And we'll be worshipping all of them while worshipping Krishna. At that time, they are all spiritual. They are all spiritual only, who are situated in the spiritual world. That's why we are representing them in this Pitha here. Shri Bhagavaloka Sangraha Paranam तल्लेलौपिक नरलीला पार्षदानां वा भगवत् प्रीणन यज्ञादौ श्री युधिष्ठिर राजसूयवद अन्यासां तद विभूत्वेनैव ज्ञेयम्. Okay, this is over. Then sometimes you'll be seeing, like today we are seeing, I was teaching this Rukmini Kalyanam. Rukmini was worshipping Girija, Ambika, Gauri. Another many names are there. Or otherwise gopis were worshipping Katyayini. Or otherwise, so Yudhishthir Maharaj was worshipping in Rajasuyaga various demigods. These, they are all participating in the Leela of the Lord, and they are all Parshadas of the Lord, but still worshipping the demigods we are seeing. Or otherwise, sometimes just to establish some ideal role model, actually to establish some role model. Maybe he is a king, is Vaishnava, but to establish some culture, he might be so encouraging some kind of demigod worship. Maybe that is that customs are somewhere. He went to some society and he is doing that demigod worship. Some situation arises like that. He's in his country. It's not that the one day you cannot say, hey, you should, everyone should worship Vishnu. You cannot enforce, na? So their custom is worshipping of some demigod. And being a king, you went there. And you have to encourage their culture. Otherwise, they will become cultureless and they will fall down, even down. So then, in that case, so that devotee, and but he is just for the setting a role model or something. So there is a, or sometimes maybe you are in your house also, you are Vaishnava, but someone passed away, or you might be following some rituals in the house. You are following some rituals because you are being a devotee, you are not following rituals, and then common people, they don't understand what is conclusions of Shastra, but they will simply see that, oh, he is so-called Krishna Bhakta, not following the culture. That kind of bad name also may come. So just to sake of so promoting the culture and showing that the faith in the Vedas, to establish faith in the Vedas. So you might be so doing the demigod worship at that time. So that means situation may come at that time. Or otherwise, these Parshadas also doing worship of the demigods. Those demigods are not in the Peta Puja. They are not doing Peta Puja. They are not just like example. Rukmini is going and worshipping there in the temple. That so Shiva and Girija, they are not located in the Peta Puja. That means then when you locate, that means do the Peta Puja according to the Padma Purana, then that is the case is different. But they are now directly worshipping. Then those two demigods are belong to the material world only. And at that time, how they will worship? What is the mood? They will be worshipping these demigods as Vibhuti of the Lord. If you also get this some kind of so situation arise such a way, you should worship the demigods, then how you should worship? They are a Vibhuti of the Lord. There are Vibhuti means just Vibhuti is nothing but kala. That means less energy. That is also possible. Adhisthana, you can see the Krishna in that Adhisthana. Or otherwise, you can worship those demigods as Vibhuti. Otherwise, you may, if they are devotees like Shiva, you can connect them as a Vaishnava and worship. But there should be the right understanding. Or otherwise, you can see those demigods are the limbs of the Supreme Lord. That is also possible. Like Surya, Chandra are the eyes of the Lord, like Maha Virat Purusha. and who is the Garbhodaka Sai Vishnu's material manifestation, Prathama Avatara. In that way, if you connect everywhere, there should be a connection to the Krishna directly, and that opinion, that consciousness should be based upon the Krishna is Supreme Personality of Godhead. That is needed actually. Then that worship is accepted. Otherwise, it's rejected. Okay, we'll discuss the remaining things tomorrow. Thank you very much.